Hello, I'm jashykins, and I'm here to review the elementary episode Possibility 2, which seems to be the season finale of this series. On IMDb, I don't believe it lists a season 2, and you know, I can look up on IMDb to see if it was a season finale, but it didn't really seem like a season finale to me. I mean, a few big things happened, like Watson is now Sherlock's apprentice. So that's one major change, but nothing really happens in this episode that makes you go, I know I'm watching a season finale. Because, like The Walking Dead and Fringe or Wretched Soul, you knew when you were watching the damn season finale or mid-season finale, you knew because it just ended like one. Even when Fringe had its series finale, you sort of knew, okay, this is where it ends, this is a good stopping off point. That's one really complaint, but only because, it's supposed to be season. Never mind. Anyways, throughout the rest of the season previously, Watson seemed to have this tight-hold grip on Sherlock, in that they were sort of friendly. I ship them, so I think they're friendly to each other. But at the same time, she was very much in control of herself. She could be, Sherlock could throw stuff at her and she could bat right back. This one, it just seems like Watson has been tamed. I mean, she still is her badass self, but at the same time, it's like, this isn't really who I've come to expect from the rest of the season. And it could possibly be because in the previous episode, Sherlock admits to, knowing that Watson isn't being paid to be, his sober companion. So maybe that's why the whole dynamic has changed. But it was interesting to see Sherlock have basically one big test for Watson this episode. He basically forces her to go to this dry cleaner so he can get his clothes dry cleaned. And she's like, something's wrong with this place. And Sherlock's like, what do you mean? And then Watson figures out that it's not really a dry cleaning place. And she's like, why did you do that? It's like this, and why did you send me there? And Sherlock's like, I was just testing you. And it seems that Sherlock has very much a mindset of paying attention to every little detail. That little things can turn out to be important, and your instincts must be spot on. So a little subplot through this episode was starting to train Watson, and he also did that by the crime scenes they went to, when he was like, what do you think, Watson? And you know how I was mentioning how Watson seems to be a little tamer? She seems to be very much, I don't know, whenever she's answering Sherlock's questions about a crime scene. And anyways, since we spent nearly 5 minutes discussing little bits and pieces of the episode, the main thing for this episode is that there's this guy who says he was given this incurable disease that is genetic, but he's like, no, someone gave this to me. Turns out the guy was given it, and so were some other people. It turns out that this other guy was like, I want to make a bunch of money, so this is the best way to do it. Basically, he was a genetic researcher who was trying to find the cure to the disease, and to get money, he gave people the disease. That makes fucking sense. But it is a good way to get money. So, yeah. And it was sort of interesting, I was pointing out, because the one guy with dementia is like, okay, I need you to do this, I need you to figure this out, and Sherlock's like, that case seems like bullshit, so no. And eventually, in the episode, he's like, okay, I'll take you on. And I'm not a really big bee expert, but the guy, with the dementia was trying to bribe Sherlock with this one type of bee. And me and Watson basically had the same opinion. Okay, it's a fucking bee. It's just a bee. It's like buzz buzz, buzz buzz buzz. But Sherlock's looking at it, and even when he pushes actually the limo driver away the first time, he's like, I shouldn't have done that. So yeah, if anyone can really tell me what was so important about the bee, because I think Sherlock might have explained it, but I was like, it's a fucking bee. But like every elementary episode, there are a bunch of twists and turns. Of course, with any mystery, it seems like it's this person, it's that person. So yeah. So I'm not sure if Elementary has been canceled or not. I just know on IMDb it isn't shown for a second season. And I like this show. Is it the best show? No, not by a long shot, but I love tuning in every week to see Sherlock and Watson in New York. So I'm just very confused because no one's really posted, at least the brief viewing I did of the IMDb boards for Elementary, it's like no one's really talking about any cancellation. And this, as I mentioned before, this season just ended. It's just another episode, and for season finales, you really want something, a cliffhanger, or at least if it's the end of the series and you have enough time to prepare everything, you give a good ending that's like a good send-off, even if the series only lasted one season, like Last Resort. It had a exciting last episode where you knew this was the end because everything important was wrapped up. This one is just it's just another fucking episode. But yeah, I do hope it comes back for a second season because, as I said, I love tuning in every week for this show. So, Elementary Possibility 2, it was as an episode, it was good. It shows the changing dynamic of Sherlock and Watson. But at the same time, it's not a proper season finale. It's just another episode, and that's not what I should say for a season finale. It should be, this is awesome, this is badass. It's just another episode. So, yeah. And I have been Jashykins, owner at jashykins.blogspot.com. If you want to contact me for whatever reason, say to talk about elementary, what you enjoyed, what you think could be improved upon, you can contact me at facebook.com/jashykins fanpage or on Twitter at jashykins. And I also give updates, about blogging, about what I'm watching, what I'm going to do. So it's good to stay up to date with me. And if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe, like, comment, yay. And if you're viewing this on my blog, comment, share, thank you just for watching, and hey, now that you're on my blog, explore. And until next video, goodbye.